I'm Patrick Kennedy, and I run a company called Sidebar. So I found about MEF through a conference that I was attending in Singapore, and I met some of the folks involved in the organization. And as a startup, we're always looking for ways that we can essentially broaden our footprint. And so we looked into MEF and we joined about a year ago. You know, for us, it's really been invaluable. I've been a member throughout my career of a number of industry trade associations. And I have to tell you that not only myself, but all the folks on our team have really been delighted. MEF is this organization that really punches above its weight. And for us as a technology startup, we couldn't be as active as we are in Asia and Latin America, even in the Middle East, without the support of someone like MEF. And MEF, the folks in MEF have really gone above and beyond to give us introductions at the CEO level of big carriers, of content aggregators, and to really help us get into places that otherwise would take us months and perhaps even longer to get into. You know what I think it is that there's something about MEF that the folks who really drive this organization are the members. And the members are committed because we all see that there is so much opportunity here and there's so many areas that we need to work together on to create this playing field where we can all make a lot of money. And what I've found is that the boards of directors, the folks who work at MEF, everyone's very passionate about this organization. And so it's what I see as a very core group of people who are really driving this forward, and I have to say that they're very good at what they do. You know, for us, we've only been a part of MEF for 1 year. I recently had the honor to join the board of MEF, and I'm looking forward to this. As an organization, we've been involved in a Smart Enablers initiative, so we've been participating in that way. We've done everything we can to support MEF in terms of participating in events and all of that, and I'm looking forward to play a more significant role in the year to come. So I was excited. I'm here at the MEF Americas event in Miami, and I was attending the annual general meeting of MEF, and I ran for a position on the board of MEF. Quite frankly, over the last year, we've gotten a lot out of MEF as a member, and it's an organization that I see the value of, and I'm passionate about taking what's going on here and contributing what I can to drive it forward. It's in a way giving back to an organization that gives me a lot, so it helps me as a member as well. Well, I think that if you look at what happened to us, you know, a year ago, we started even as I think an associate member or something like that. The amount of help we got was truly amazing. And I have to say that the folks in MEF in Latin America and Asia, North America, really went out of their way to help us in a way that we were really surprised by. And I think that anyone who joins, whether it's a huge multinational system integrator or an app provider who wants to get more involved in this, or even a cable TV programmer who wants to figure out how do I really reach my consumers on mobile, they'll all find that there's some very, very educated, smart people here who've been in mobile an awfully long time who are really interested in driving this forward. So I think that anyone who joins is going to have a good experience. You know, we're big believers that the next generation of the internet is really the personal internet, and that's what we're driving to. And we think there are lots of ways to approach that. In fact, at Sidebar, we use many modalities. So we have a very flexible architecture of our system so that in addition to our core behavioral decision tree, we can add in things like collaborative filtering, we can ask for user preferences, demographic data. All those things can help to drive a model in certain use cases. Because as we know, the different use cases from you have 30,000 users and 10 things to recommend to 10 million users and 1,000 things, you need different tools. So we can adapt to that. However, there are some cases where just having a simple recommendation is all someone needs. And that's okay, and we don't try to compete with that. So if someone wants a very easy, simple solution, that's great. Where we really excel is in the millions of users, and frankly where we can really sing is when people change over time. So if you look at high repeat visit activities, whether it's reading news, searching for content, watching television, things that people are doing a lot, and where their interests change even throughout the day or through the week or through the month, that's really where we can provide a far superior value than any of our competitors. The concept of what we're pitching really sells itself, and because we take a pretty small amount of revenue out of a sales growth. So we're really flattening this demand curve, increasing revenue, and it's really a no-brainer. So it's really just about, okay, how do we fit it in the roadmap? So for us, we see a huge amount of interest from mobile carriers, especially in overseas markets where they're seeing what's happening in the United States with the app stores and with the opening up of smartphones and what that means to them. And there are quite a few of these carriers who are very smart and they're getting ahead of the game. They say, what do I need to do now to prepare for that to happen to me? How do I improve my customer relationships now so that when people have the choice to go to different places to get their content, they want to stay with me? And our message to them is to really create this kind of conversation with your consumer. We could really call it participation marketing. It's telling a consumer, hey, listen, I want to know about you. I want to give you what you want. I'm going to track these small things that you're doing, and I'm going to give you personalized menus. And I want you to tell me what you like about what you got. Tell me if you don't like it. All of that information really improves the experience. And it also helps build customer relationships. It helps build customer loyalty. What Sidebar does is we provide real-time relevance to content providers, telcos, anyone really providing content or menus to users. So the way that someone would use us is we make people who provide content to users, whether it's a mobile operator, a games aggregator, someone who's got a subscription service, we make them smarter about what customers want to see. And we help them provide what we call smart menus. So what we do is we work with our customers, who are the carriers, let's say, and we tell them the kinds of content that, for example, you want to see. The truth is we know a lot about what every user looks at, what they buy, what they choose not to buy, but we don't yet as an industry provide enough real-time response to users. Our belief is that every menu needs to be personal. The lie about the internet was the internet gives you infinite shelf space. The truth is the internet gives you infinite warehouse space and extremely limited shelf space. If you look at how users use a smartphone, a tablet, or even a television guide, you really can only fit 10 or 12 content items on a screen for a user to choose from. And what we know is that users will only really look at 2 or 3 screens in a store before they abandon the visit. So that really you're getting 20 to 30 items that you have to get right for a user. In our view, searches fail. You need to get something in front of a user, those first 20 items that they want to buy, that they want to watch, that they want to read, that they want to share. And our job is to make the content provider smart and to give them smart menus that allow them to do that. Yeah, so we have an API, it's documented, published, and it's a very easy integration with any CMS platform. We can integrate with multiple CMS platforms, with multiple master content providers in the mobile world. And we provide an API. We work on IDs. We have no PII. We don't like to have personally identifiable information in our system, so we're very clean on privacy. And we set up an automated export of files from our customers to our system. For example, every 15 minutes we'll get a usage log from one of our customers. We'll get a content catalog update every day. And every hour we'll create a massive predictive map for our customers. And this can be across millions of customers, thousands of items. And we'll upload this map into a real-time caching server. And what that allows us to do is then put this API on the customer's website, inside their app, in their television guide, and any connected device. And they can, in 34 milliseconds, make a request to our cache server and get a response with a list of items in probability order that someone's going to buy, open, or share. We also include in our system the ability to track what you do over time. So over time, our vision of you changes as you change. In fact, we can also, though, identify how you act differently in the morning from the evening, how you act differently from a weekday to the weekend. Maybe on the 15th and 30th of every month, you're more acquisitive in your purchasing, and we can find that out and prevent the right SMS message to you to say, hey, come back to the store. We know you got some money you're going to spend today. So really, we try to get to know people in a very contextually behavioral-driven sense. And we can combine that with other tools, of course. We can use our system to not only give the probability of which item someone's going to buy, but we can then say, okay, what's the margin on each of these items, or what's the revenue? And do you want to maximize the system for purchases or for revenue or for margin? What's really exciting is we've already seen in our implementations, for example, with the big games aggregator, where the first week that we integrated in, we were really driving all these catalog sales, and most of the stuff that our system was driving was really long-tail content. And that's the real promise of Sidebar, is to flatten this demand curve and to increase consumption by better mining the catalog of stuff that you have to offer, right? We've seen this. We've seen it working, where over time, the Sidebar solution, our smart menus, have lifted things out of the catalog, deep catalog, and brought them into the top 20 games. So what we're doing is we're driving a big portion of the top-selling items by finding that high-margin catalog content that's been sitting on the shelf and presenting it to those users who want to buy it. And so the system works. We know we can do this, and we've proven it.